All right, so if you're trying to lose 30 pounds in 2026, then I'm finna put you on game. And now my YouTube videos don't have fancy videos, cool transitions, and sound effects. I'm just here to give you the information straight. So if your goal in 2026 is to lose 30 pounds, I want you to hear this first. That first of all, your goal is 100% realistic, but only if you stop thinking in extremes and start thinking into the systems. 30 pounds is not lost in 30 days. It's only lost through consistency, patience, and a lot of those born days, so long as you do those born days right. So remember that. But I'm gonna talk to you like a regular person and not like an online fitness guru or whatever, or somebody yelling at you to lock in for 2 to 3 weeks because you're gonna get that burnout feeling. Most people don't even fail at the fat loss because they're lazy. They only fail because they aim at the wrong targets at the wrong time. So when you start to break this down in a way that makes sense, then everything's gonna start to click. Now, the first thing to consider though is your timeline, because this is where most people tend to mess up immediately. Losing 30 pounds in a healthy and sustainable way usually means you're only going to drop about half a pound to a pound a week on average, and that's non-negotiable. That means you're not sprinting to the finish line, but instead you walking with intention just to see the progress happen. Over the course of a year, though, when you look back, you're going to realize that that progress added up fast, but only if you stay consistent. The mistake people make is trying to lose all 30 pounds first inside of their head. They start to think they need to be perfect today, they need to be perfect for tomorrow, and they need to be perfect forever. And that's the mindset that's going to collapse you. Instead, you should be thinking, what do I need to do this week, next week, and then stack those weeks on top of itself. Okay. Now I'm gonna pause right here though and talk about the dude on the thumbnail of this video, because it's not me, no. However, that's not some random person that I just found online and wanted to use their pictures. That's actually my friend, my frat brother, and my client now. But we went to college together and we always called him T Murray because his name is Terrell. Now T Murray, he's a nurse, and after college, life hit him fast because he was working long shifts, weird hours. He had a lot of stress, ton of fast food in his shifts, snacking when he could. He didn't have any training structure or any type of routine. And before you knew it, right, the weight just started to creep up on him. His confidence dropped, his energy dropped, and the version of himself that we knew from college just wasn't the dude that we would see whenever we did see him. And here's the important part about it, though. It wasn't because he did not care. It only was because he didn't have a system that was working for him in his life and his lifestyle. That's why I'm telling you all of this truly matters. Everything I'm about to lay out for you in this video is exactly what T. Murray followed. Nothing extreme, nothing fancy, nothing crazy or off the wall, just the basic fundamentals done with consistency. And that's what helped him not only lose the weight, but get his confidence back. Okay. Now let's talk about food, because really the fat loss is always going to come back to food. You do not need a perfect diet. You only need a repeatable diet, meals that you can afford and meals that you truly enjoy. That's it. Meals you can stick to, especially when the motivation is gone, because it's going to go one of these days. But protein has to be the foundation, not because it's trendy, but because it keeps you full, preserves your muscle mass, and makes fat loss a lot easier. Every meal should have a clear protein source. From there, though, that's where you build out your plate around it. That's where you add your carbs, your fats, and your vegetables based on what works for you, what you enjoy, and your lifestyle. T. Murray, though, he didn't eliminate the carbs. He didn't swear off sugar forever. He just stopped eating randomly. He added more structure. And people don't even overeat because they're starving. They just overeat because they don't have that structure and they're not prepared. Okay. Now, when you think about training, if your main goal is fat loss, the gym is a non negotiable, but it doesn't have to be about destroying yourself. It's about building and maintaining muscle while the scale slowly starts to come down. Remember that resistance training 3 to 5 days a week is more than enough, and cardio is great and can be used as a tool and doesn't have to be a punishment. Walking is always underrated because those daily steps matter more than killing yourself on a treadmill each and every day. When T. Murray started to focus on consistent movement instead of the extremes, everything truly started to click and move in the right direction. Now, a big thing that people do overlook is that your environment will either support the person you want to be or it's going to sabotage your progress. If your house is full of snacks, your schedule is chaotic, if your sleep is trash, fat loss becomes an uphill battle that's tough to win. Sleep matters way more than people want to admit, because poor sleep messes with your hunger, your cravings, your energy, and even your decision making. You can have the best plan in the world, but if you're exhausted, you're not going to follow it. That's just a fact. Okay. Now, also remember your expectations, because this is where a lot of people also quit. The scale will not move in a straight line. Some weeks you're going to lose weight and some weeks you just won't. But that doesn't mean that the plan isn't working. Fat loss is just not linear and it doesn't work that way. T. Murray, he had a ton of weeks where the scale didn't move or move much at all, but His clothes did fit better, his energy did improve, and his confidence started to come back slowly but surely. Okay. And that's why you can't let one slow week convince you to quit. You also need to understand that fat loss changes as you go. What's working for you at the start might not work for you later, and you might need to adjust the plan. Your calories might need to come down slightly, steps might need to go up, and that's just normal in the name of the game. That's not failure, that's just called progress. Because another piece that matters, especially, is your identity. If you still see yourself as somebody trying to lose weight, you're going to keep restarting. But when you start seeing yourself as somebody who trains, who eats with intention, who moves daily, then your behavior is going to reflect that automatically. That's what happened with T. Murray. He stopped seeing himself as somebody who was out of shape and started instead acting like somebody who takes care of himself, even with the demanding schedule. And finally, and remember this, stop waiting for the perfect moment. There is no such thing. There's no perfect Monday, no perfect month, no perfect motivation. The only people who lose the 30 pounds are the ones who start imperfectly and keep going. So, really, if in this year, 2026, you're trying to lose that 30 pounds, don't make it about intensity. Make it about consistency. Make it about your systems. Make it about the habits that you can actually live with, because fat loss truly is not hard. It's just repetitive. And the people who win at this are the ones who stop quitting on themselves. All right. So always remember this stuff. And these are the tips I'm just giving you. As always, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. You get 10% off of Gymshark. Use the code MAC10 plus other major deals from Rule One Proteins if you use code MAC anytime you do shop. Make sure you leave a comment down below, and I'm going to catch you at the next one.